When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Muga. Fresh off a disappointing 1-0 win against Copenhagen. Going to go around and introduce the guys. Timmy, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, bro. Fam, I don't even know how I am, bro. I'll be honest with you. I don't even know, bro.
Cool. Disu, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, not bad, man.
Yeah. Danny?
Yeah, I've been better. But
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Yeah. And how are you doing, Elijah?
Did you forget me or something?
No, I'm just looking at
it's all good. I'm all good.
Who's Sarah M?
Don't know.
That's Alex.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, Alex, man. What the hell?
Who are you using, fam? About Sarah M? Who's that, cuz?
Who's Sarah M? Huh? Who's Sarah M?
Alex kills me, blood.
Sarah Mr. Reloaded, you know? Crazy. How you doing, mate?
I'm alright, lad.
Yeah.
Bro, this
Cool.
guy kills me.
Before we start, go around. I've gone around. So before we start, I'll just plug the usual socials. Discord. Again, we had a Discord community tonight watching the game. It was a sad space, but usually it is good vibes. For those of you who are also like NBA fans, we've started Courtside Fracas. We've got lives going on for NBA games most evenings. Yeah, join the space, join the conversation. We must have about 1,000 people on there now. So yeah, good fun. As usual, we will be on YouTube. So that's all your club podcasts and the main podcast. And for those of you who haven't already signed up for Patreons, the Muga Patreon is there. Michael's joining us. It seems like everybody wants to get something off their chest this evening. Let's introduce Dr. No. Michael, how you doing? How you doing, Michael? You right, Michael? Can you hear us?
Yeah, what's going on?
This is the angriest I've seen you looking, well, ever. Did you just watch the game?
I watched the game.
Yes, it makes sense. Yeah, it's hot and the weather's not helping either.
It's a mad combo.
Okay, cool. So, 1-0 win. We're through to the semi-finals, I guess. Let's talk about that performance. I'm going to start with you, Timmy, because from about 10 minutes in, you were ranting and raving in the space. So, as succinctly as you can, just give us an idea of your main takeaways from that performance.
Bruno, fam. Hey, Bruno.
Absolutely awful. I don't care. I don't care.
When I told man that he gives me Mickey vibes, bruv, they laughed at me, fam. When I told man when Sancho comes, bench Bruno, they laughed at me, fam. Let me tell you something about this guy. I wanted him to miss the penalty. On my mother's life, I wanted him to miss the penalty.
Please don't swear on my mother's
bro,
life, please.
Bro,
I don't need you to. I just need you to tell me you wanted him to miss it, and that would have been enough for me.
I wanted him to miss the penalty so bad. And do you know what? It's so ironic because last week on the pod, I was saying, give me more of that penalties, bruv.
Yeah.
Fam, give me more of them penalties against good teams, bruv. Against teams like flipping Copenhagen that we should be beating 5-0, I don't want to win with a 1-0 penalty and the worst player on the pitch is the one that scores it, and he's probably going to get man in the match on flipping United's flipping Twitter because he scored the winning goal. Bruv, he was awful. He was awful from minute 1 to minute 120. The guy was awful.
He hit the post.
It's like he did. It's like
he hit the post. I'm sorry. He hit the post.
In all situations, he's like, what's the maddest thing I could do right now? What is the absolute maddest thing I could do?
It's like, honestly, Mickey was putting in better performances than Bruno has been putting in. And that's the truth. Mickey was putting in better performances. This is poor from him. And he's getting away with it because he keeps scoring penalties. He's getting away with it. Like, listen, bring me Sancho and stick that guy on the bench. On top of that, Ollie, mate, bruv, this guy has not got a clue, fam. Ollie has got no flipping clue, bruv. He's, oh my God.
You just punched the air?
There's a fly in front of me, man.
Oh, okay, cool.
Bro, this guy, honestly, he's got no clue.
Get
And
oxygen,
listen,
you know?
for his own sake, we need Wolves to beat Sevilla tomorrow, and we need to just lose to Wolves because he's going to get upstaged so badly in the semi-final if we play
Whoever
Sevilla.
we play,
If we get to a final against Inter Milan, oh my God, the schooling he's going to give him. I remember saying it on here as well a few months back that if we got Inter in the Champions League, they'd beat us. Everyone was talking, it's a one-off game. So look at this. Look at what we saw today, bro. We needed 120 minutes to score one goal against Copenhagen. One goal.
The keeper did have a blinder, to be fair.
Yeah, bro. But the thing is, right, the keeper has
Norris
had a blinder. But, bro, like, our strikers were finishing poorly. Shout out Martial, because Martial was sick. If he could just shoot more, then we could have won the game 3-0 or whatever, because there was a couple of times I think he took an extra dribble when he probably could have hit it with his left, or I think there was a chance in extra time where he could have taken it with his right foot as well, but he didn't. But shout out him because he played well. Rashford, when he got put through 1-on-1, I don't even know if he was offside or not at the end of the day. But how did he not score that?
That was funny because, them ones where he knew was offside, but then now it's just a mental game between...
The flag didn't go up.
No. Listen, it's a mental game between you and the keeper, and it's like, I'll tuck it so you know that if I come for you again, I'm scoring. And then the keeper saved it. The keeper saved it.
Cool. But bro, I'm looking at these guys and I'm thinking, what the hell is going on with the finishing?
2 weeks off, it's crazy. Cool. So, like Timmy mentioned, Martial had a strong performance. Couple of guys here repping Martial front line. I want to get their opinions. First, I'll go with you, Disu. Talk to me. What did you think of Tony tonight?
First half, he was on a joke thing. I can't lie. It was a bit slow to react to a couple of situations. I'm not sure if it was the first half or the second half when somebody fizzed the ball across and he kind of went with it with his stomach. Like, oh, let me control it. Then, oh, shit, I should probably shoot. That was treating the ball like it was like it's a medicine ball, bro.
It was MK Duns that did that to us when the guy scored.
Oh yeah, Penny in the chest. Like, you went to hit the ball with his abs like it was a medicine ball. This ain't gym box, my guy. This is football. But second half, extra time, I thought he was really good. Like his all-round play was good. Like coming to receive the ball and just running past people. He should have keeping a good save from him when he hit it from outside the box, and then he should have had that. No, just before the penalty when he cut past like 2 players, and it was like in that typical inside left where you expect him to hit the far corner, and he missed it. And even one other run he went on like two or three like crazy runs, so he was big in energy. I thought he had a good game, but you need him when he misses chances. I'm so shocked because we're so used to him being clinical. But I like the fact that we're not getting games where Martial's just on the edge of the game where you're like, does he even want to be here anymore? Type of thing. Like every game you can see that he's hungry, he wants to take responsibility to score. So I thought it was a good performance, and you can't just say if he doesn't striker don't score, it's not a good game. I thought he had a good game. I thought he's probably the best player on the pitch, him or Pogba or maybe Maguire. Yeah, I think those are the 3 best players.
Yeah, I mean the bar's not so high.
On the ground.
They probably were.
No. I think all 3 of them had a good game.
You think I think Martial was good. I think Pogba was okay in spells, good in spells, and Maguire was probably the same.
I think Pogba was good, to be honest with you.
Pogba was the only one that played consistently good throughout the whole game.
Yeah. He kept the ball very, very well as well.
That man was some joke things at times.
Still think Pogba's too deep?
Way too deep.
It's not right, is it?
But that's what happens when you actually don't have a pattern of play. Like Jeff called it in a group chat, kamikaze football. Like we don't have a pattern of play. So it's not like, okay, when the centre backs get the ball, you go here, you go here. The only thing like I see that we do is Matic drops in and it becomes a back 3, or sometimes one of the fullbacks drops in becomes a back 3 and the other fullback gets high. But really and truly, there's no real patterns of play. There's no real replicated passes. You know, like City, you always see them do the same type of passes. Liverpool, the same type of passes. Us is just like, nah. Pogba gets the ball, fuck it, you man have the ball. Like, so I think he's way too deep for me.
Liverpool City play like it's FIFA, innit? And you know that there's 3 different ways you score. Like the same goal all the time, the little pullback. Like they know exactly what they're doing all the time. And like you said, it looks like we're just winging it some of the time.
100.
Elijah, obviously Ayos touched on Martial. I want to get your thoughts on Rashford and just generally what went wrong. What's going wrong? Obviously, we had those 4 games and we were on heaven for a little while. Timmy thought we were gonna win every single game, and now look at him, punch in the air. So what's going wrong? Why are things so difficult for us all of a sudden?
I think it's just, we're just very simple to play against. At the end of the day, we can have as much quality as we want. At the end of the day, there will always have to be a backup plan in terms of our structure. So with you see sometimes with Liverpool, Salah might be having a bad day, Mane might be having a bad day, they all might be having a bad day, but if they keep creating the same type of chances, sooner or later, it's going to be tucked. With us, we don't have that same security in terms of our chance creation. It's literally just a moment of brilliance from Pogba or Bruno or just any of the front 3. And if we do have a good team goal, it's literally everyone being surprisingly perfect, really. So, the thing is with Rashford is that I feel like it is hard for him because obviously, Shaw didn't give him the best of help anyway, and I think it's overstated how much we miss Shaw and how much Rashford misses Shaw. But having Williams down that side, he doesn't even look half the player he was like at the start of the season. He just looks scared and timid, and he's always cutting back. There's no fear. There's no more fearlessness in his play. And
What do you think's happened to him?
I just feel like he doesn't have the comfort of being a youth player anymore, to me anyway. So he actually has to step up, and then Shaw was actually.
Hey, he's shit, blood, man. Let's stop cutting. Let's cut to chase.
Hey, the thing is with Williams is that he's playing on the wrong side. He's not a left back really. He's really a right back. But even at right back, he's
what's up to do if you get chopped by random Danish pastries, bruv? He's
Today defensively is the worst I've seen him. Like he was getting turned inside out like a.
Was that a penalty, by the way? That foul in the box?
Nah, no chance.
What? Nah. Nah. But Rashford really. He was poor. He's like the thing is with Rashford when he's tired and he plays like this, he just looks like such an awful player, man. Like,
did you think he was tired?
No, but. It's just that.
What do you mean by the end he was tired?
Yeah, but by the end he was tired, and they were saying that it was so hot in the stadium, players could hardly move. But it's not even an excuse. It's just that he's just so. Whenever he gets like this, it's just so frustrating. Like you can tell when, like it's very much confidence with him. If he does one thing right at the start of the game and he keeps on going, you will have a good game. But it's just easy to tell when he's not going to be on it because he's just like if something goes wrong he's walking back with his head down and just like he's just walking into and that as much as we bag on Williams, Rashford leaves him out to dry defensively because
that's true.
Like he doesn't do enough. He doesn't block the passes into the full back. So most times you just see like it's either the defensive mid has to come to cover for Williams or like it's him versus two of the opponents, and you just see Rashford jogging back. I'm not sure if that's a tactic or not, but it's just stupid because it makes it so easy because it's just an easy out for the team down their right hand side. But he was just poor today, man. Like there's just no excuses. Like before you could see like he was actually creating chances and combining well with other players, but now he's not even doing that. He's just playing poorly. So it's just like he just needs to snap out of it. He needs to get back to what he was like versus Palace and just like start like just affecting the game more. Just like he also needs to play it much quicker as well. Like he needs to play more one touch because whenever he plays one touch, people can't live with him. So like he just needs to play much quicker than he did today.
The tempo in general was just poor, and Copenhagen were just comfortable with the speed that we were playing at. But it was nice to see a couple of the old faces back in the mixer. Danny, Fred gave us a little la-di-da. What did you think of his performance tonight?
I like Fred tonight. It was like just before Pogba came back, Fred, where you sort of do that thing where you're like, I can sort of see why Pep maybe wanted him. Like he can. What I like about Fred is that he's not scared to get the ball like with his back to goal and stuff. Or sometimes he fucks it up, but he'll do that. And when he can turn and put it on his left foot, then it breaks the lines and it helps you attack. I'd much rather have him there than McTominay. And I think he's less likely to lose it. Like he passes it quicker than Matic. That's the thing. Matic, as good as he is positionally, sometimes he's slow on the ball, isn't he? He takes ages to pass the ball. So yeah, I was into Fred tonight.
Yeah. Alex, I mean, we spoke about this earlier. I said you're the one man in the, what do you call it? Bayi Limited Incorporated.
Bayi Ltd.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm right there as well, please.
Hey,
Okay,
Right
so
there.
Elijah, so you've got one share and you can either use it in 9 a.m. or this Bayi thing. Which one are you using it in?
This buy thing.
I'm splitting my share in half, bro. I don't care.
Okay, we'll see how that works with the SEC. Alex,
Yes, sir.
how did you think your boy did tonight? I mean, he got subbed.
Yeah, I know, which was ridiculous, if you ask me.
Was it? Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
on,
He must have forgotten who we're dealing with, but continue.
We know Ollie doesn't trust Bayi because he's on a yellow card. You know, Bayi can have a brain fart any second and just kick a man in the chest. But apart from that, really and truly, Bayi
Apart from that, go.
Apart from that, Bayi, because he didn't kick anyone in the chest, he had a good game. But
He had a good first half, definitely.
Yeah, I think he was the best player on the pitch in the first half. And
Not that far, but
he was. There was
he
a
was
time.
very good. He saved us a couple times still.
Yeah.
Somebody, one of the Danish pastries did make him sit down though.
Yeah, he
Oh,
sat
yeah,
him
I saw
down.
that. Yeah, but he did well before that.
Yeah. He had to get back to him. So
But it's calm. But apart from that, I think Bayi had a good game. Don't know why he got subbed. But again, it didn't make a difference in the end. Our problem wasn't defense. It was we just couldn't score. You get it? So Bayi had a good game. I feel like he's the best centre back at our club, and if he can stay fit, I pray he stays fit. And yeah, man, let him get a run of games. Bayi's clear.
Didn't he get put on his bum early on?
Yes, we heard that. You don't
just
listen,
get that, man.
Come on,
Sorry,
man.
bro.
Oh, bro.
Sorry, bro.
His head's still hot.
You saved the day there, Timmy, as well, when Bayi got sat down. Maguire with the block.
Bruv, he was standing there and the guy shot the ball at him. How was that saving the day, bruv? The guys are flipping lampposts, bro.
If he wasn't there,
Curtains. It's curtains for certain man.
He wasn't there. What
That's the
happened?
Argentinian keeper.
Nah, bruv.
Give him that
Romero
respect.
saves it, bruv.
Give him that respect.
Romero
there.
saves
Give him
it.
that
Hey,
respect.
speaking of Romero,
I'm not giving that guy
why does
respect.
Romero kick the ball so far? He just kicks it to the other goalkeeper.
Bro, at the end of
Might
the
as well.
game, that guy...
It makes no difference.
Something to do, I guess.
Romero's too funny, man.
He's just there for the vibes, bro.
Yeah, something to do, I guess.
Hey, keeper, make a run. I'll find you.
You know, it's like, right, I'm getting paid and playing. What? This is mad. Like, this is already more than I signed up for. I would have paid for you lot for free and played no games. Michael, one matter. Hell of a cameo. He was quality in his limited minutes. What were your takeaways? Is he somebody who should perhaps be playing more? He offers a different edge to Bruno. Obviously, physically, we know that he's a shell of a player that wasn't that physically impressive to start with, but he comes in with a great head, lovely technical ability, and an ability still, it seems like, and especially in the Europa League, to find pockets of dangerous space. What were your thoughts on his cameo this evening?
Yeah, man. The thing with Matter is that obviously no one can doubt his footballing brain and the fact that he can, with his brain, he can find a pass and he's creative. It's just that he just gets bullied out there. And the thing I've never understood is that why does Matter get bullied, but David Silva can hold his own? I've never understood, because they're the same sort of height, same sort of stature. But when it comes to, and David Silva will be playing centre mid in the Premier League and can hold his own, but Matter, I don't get it. I don't get it. And that's what sort of frustrates me, because I think we've got a player in there, and we've had for a few years that we've not seen the best of, because physically he seems to just get out-muscled, out-played. But today he came on, and I think he was a bit, he stabilised things a little, and we're getting into more dangerous positions. And we needed something to change, because clearly Oli was going to let it run and just hope that one of the front three, or Bruno or Pogba, did something special without any tactics to it. So it was kind of good when he actually brought Mata on and something different change, and which gave Greenwood a little rest. I'm a bit surprised by the sub, but still Mata actually had a good game, to be fair to him.
Cool. What did you guys think of Greenwood today?
It's annoying, man, because I feel like we don't use him enough. I feel like he gets missed out a lot when we are building up play, and because we can't build down the right hand side because of Wan-Bissaka, we have to build down the left, and it has eventually get switched in. And by the time that happens, because the way we were passing today, especially, was very slow. By the time it gets to him, he's being triple team basically, and it's like there's not much he can do. So like it's frustrating, but you saw it today, like the offside goal, and then he hit the post as well. That any side of goal, and anytime he shoots it, I feel like it's the goal, and that's so
The goal is a
competitive to have. It's just so competitive to have that someone can just leng it from anywhere, and I feel like it's gonna score because, yeah, man. But I feel like we definitely do not use him enough at all. I feel like he gets missed out far too much, and I feel like we need to incorporate him more in our build-up play. But I do feel like the way we use the wingers, like they're coming off the line far too early, and it just makes it easy to just squeeze the space for our striker and attacking mid. But I mean, yeah, he had the okay game. I feel like by the end he wasn't really in it as much. So
I think he's that good. Even when he's shit, you think you've got to play him every minute, because he can literally just make some out of nothing. And he's one of our early players that he's the best finisher at the club, I think. And also he's that player that you can give it to him on the edge of any, like each side of the box or whatever, or anywhere around that 18-yard box, and he takes 2 touches and it's in the back of the net. He just knows where the goal is, and he's got that weird. So, you know, the strikers that just know angles all the time. Like, he seems to know his angles all the time. Like Van Persie, I know everyone is hacked to compare him to Van Persie, but I think that's what people mean, where you just shift it and you know that like the amount of goals he knocks off the post is mad. It's like playing 5-a-side in them long goals, and you can just always find the inside of the goal, man. I just think even when that's why I was surprised when Rashford stayed on for Greenwood for the Mata chance. I just think even when he's shit, and even when if he hasn't touched the ball for 89 minutes, you keep him on because he only needs 1 touch.
I think he definitely scores a goal in that extra time.
How
open it became. He's definitely putting one away. I think that chance when he got on the right-hand side that was offside, we knew that was going in. And he hit the post on his left, didn't he?
Mm.
Yeah. The kid's a special talent.
He's scary, man. His finishing is disgusting.
It's going to be.
I think he's top 5 finishers in the Prem. I'll say it now.
It's mad because teams know already. Teams are like double and tripling him.
They're scared of him. They're scared of him.
Even in those like late stages of games, just having him on just to draw some players and to almost like basketball, like the corner free, just kick it out to someone else to pay it in. It's
exactly. You need to get you on an episode of Courtside Fracco with that analysis there, Danny.
I just read that off some NBA Twitter then.
Quickly, just wanted to talk about the game against Lask. The 2-1 win, the Misfits. A few players. Sebi, we were on the Discord live watching it. After Lingard's performance, he said he's got 1 more year in him with Lingard. I think he also caught the comp of all of Lingard's kind of big goals for us. Anyone else got 1 more year of Lingard in them?
I got 1 more year Lingard in me.
Well, allow it, man.
You said that?
I got 1 more year Lingard in me.
Hey, you make me sick, man.
Yeah, but you know Timmy though. He leads with his heart, man. Heart on his sleeve.
Bro, it's definitely a heart thing because I know he's shit. But
do you know what?
I know he's shit, bro.
Every time.
Do you know what? Yeah, bro. I don't know. It's sentiment. It's definitely sentiment. But I just like Lingard, man. I think he's a good kid, man. Honestly, I think he's good vibes around the training ground as well. Like, I think he's one of them players that will be content just sitting on the bench.
We can't have good vibe players
and not coming on.
Every time I think I'm done with him, I see that picture of him when he's like 5 in a United kit, and I'm like, oh, go on then, another year.
And it's not, bro. And the thing is, I genuinely think like a confident Lingard, there's a good enough squad player in him. There's so many players that we need to get rid of before Lingard. So many players that we need to get rid of before him. And if he's confident, or if his environment is good, like it's been well documented, everything he's gone through over the past like 18 months or whatever. If he's like got fresh, clean slate, he's got a clear head, I genuinely think he can have a good season. And by that, I mean he might chip in off the bench with 5 goals, 5 assists or something.
I think the main issue...
decent performances. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't.
I think the main issue with United...
You don't have to.
In the last 5 years is that basically it's not Lingard's fault that in any other United team, we wouldn't notice how shit Lingard is because he'd be playing 10 games a season. The fact that he's been relied on as much as he has is just how shit we've been. We should have better players and he should only be coming off the bench. The fact that he's ever started games recently is indicative of how shit United have been and how bad the recruitment and the squad is. But I think Timmy's right. Like, if you've got, like, Lingard as your, like, 15th man, it's not a bad option to have. But the fact that he's like, people have been like last year he was starting right wing and as a 10 because he can run and press. That's where the problem is. The problem ultimately lies with Ed Woodward not having better players in there, and we've got to play Lingard. It's not Lingard's fault that we haven't got a better number 10.
But how we do? So it's time to go.
Facts.
Bruno.
Yeah.
Boy, yeah. So we mentioned Ed Woodward, and that segues smoothly into some interesting transfer news today.
God.
I think Disu's getting older by the day.
Life of an ITK is not easy, man.
I hear you, Alex. I hear you, for real. What is going on? Because I've seen tons of different reports, and if between yourselves and Elijah could provide some clarity to me and to our listeners, that would be greatly appreciated. What is going on, please?
So basically, essentially, I think it's just a game of like poker where Dortmund want their money basically, and United, obviously, like with the whole COVID situation and the fact that our cash balance was severely depleted last summer when we paid full whack for Maguire and paid half for Wan-Bissaka. We can't really afford to pay as much upfront as Dortmund want. And then on top of that is the fact that we want to have add-ons as well, where Dortmund are like, that 120 million, that's all guaranteed. That doesn't really matter how it's paid. We want 120 million euros guaranteed. Whatever, even apparently, if United want to do add-ons with it, they have to add the extra 20 million on, because that's what I saw with the Guardian today. But yeah, I think it's just a game of poker right now. And we've seen with the Dortmund sporting director that he said this 3 times. He said this 2 times now. And the CEO of Dortmund said it with Mickey, where they say they're going to be with us next season. Then by the end of the window, they're gone. But I mean, I think by the end of it, we will get Sancho. But I mean, it's looking like whatever happens, I think United fans will be disappointed with how our whole summer transpires, really. Because if we do get Sancho, and it's looking like we'll have to pay what Dortmund want, I don't think we'll get as many players as we need. If we don't get Sancho, then that's another blight on our board who haven't completed a signing of a player the manager wanted. So, I mean, I think it's just a difficult situation now where we either get the player or we don't, and then either road is going to look bad, personally. So, yeah.
How many players do you see us getting this summer?
I think 3 at most, but I think most likely 2. Because
let's just end the pod there, man.
I know,
thank you all for your time this evening.
Because they even said it at the start of like from time Woodward came out that statement where he said we can't do this people quoting us saying we're going to pay this much for this player and that much for that player. We can't do that right now. And then I'm pretty sure they were hoping they would be able to negotiate Dortmund down. If we don't negotiate Dortmund down, that is severely depleting our ability to do any more business in the summer. And with the way it is, I don't see us like splitting our money effectively, like say Liverpool would, or just a more savvy team. Like right now we are going for very obvious quality because I feel like we, of course, we have the money, but with the manager we have, we need the quality, and the squad we have, we are so dependent on just the few quality players we had. We need to add more quality. We need it, but I feel like it's going to be such a difficult summer because as soon as that statement came out from Woodward, half of me felt like maybe he's just saying that just to make other teams feel like we don't have as much money as we do. But the way it's looking now, I genuinely don't feel like we're going to be able to have a summer where we sign at least 3 players. I think it's going to be at most 3 players. And the fact that I doubt that's going to be a DM, the fact that I doubt there's going to be a left back in there, like I really don't know what's going to happen. But I do feel like most likely it's going to be 2, and I'm not even sure who it's going to be after Sancho as well, because we're linked with a load of names, but like there's not even anything.
We're linked with everybody on the continent at some point.
It'll end up being that dude from Swansea, that centre half, like Rodon or Woodward's a dickhead, man. I can just imagine what these add-ons are like as well. Like, we'll give you 20 million if he's on Celebrity Dancing with the Stars or something. Like, they're just all like these bullshit. Like, if he wins 7 Ballon d'Ors, we'll give you another 10 mil. Like, Woodward is people, they know what he is now, and they see him coming over the hill, and they're like, right, I'm going to rinse this. He's a chump.
They need to, and I think, obviously he doesn't want to give up the power he has, because obviously if somebody comes in and is good at their job, they get a lot of the credit, because this is an area we've struggled in for it's coming up to 10 years now. But they need to bring in somebody who has a reputation for excelling in a transfer market, for identifying talent and doing good business, because I think we are seen as jokers. People use our name to boost the prices of our players, and when we do want their players, they can give us the runaround. Disu, you have been in support of Woodward's stance in regards to bowing to Dortmund's pressure. Can you explain a bit more why you're in support of Ed this time around?
Because Dortmund are violating. They're just violating. First of all, if it was Bayern, they would have off their pant and sold Sancho for £15. So I don't understand what's going on. Now, because it's Man United, you're trying to violate the mandem. Like, no. Like, you're asking for 120, period. Like, not even an add-ons thing. Like, 120 million euros, which is a lot of money. And the fact that you're even asking for 90, so that's about 75% of it up front. Damn near 75% of it up front. Nobody ever asked for 90 million euros up front, ever, in the first season. Never.
Because nobody can really afford to give you that much money. You're taking a mick, aren't you?
Yeah, and to ask for these to have a very... Okay, you're going to have a high price, fine. But to have it with... You're not trying to negotiate with add-ons. You want an absurd, exorbitant amount of money up front. You're talking about some dickhead deadlines. And to add insult to injury, you lot... It's in the COVID market where everybody has lost millions of pounds or millions of euros, because people are losing millions of euros every single time they can't open their stadium up for fans to come in and spend money. And do you know what I mean? Like, apparently United lose £5 million every time they don't have a home game. So the whole market is done out. Like, you'll see Madrid basically say we ain't got no money. Barca saying we ain't got no money. Arsenal saying we ain't got no money. Liverpool, Spurs, all these top clubs are basically saying, yo, we ain't got no P, and you're trying to extort us. So that's why I don't blame Woodward for trying to play hardball with them. But my issue is, if this was any other club, like, I'd be like, okay, I'm fully in support. But Woodward has a track record. I think only maybe the Mickey deal in recent years I can remember where maybe we've won a negotiation. Fellaini, we faffed around, end up paying what they wanted on the last day. Herrera, faffed around, missed out on him the last day, pretended that we sent. There were some imposters that were sent, but they weren't. It was probably Woodward's son and fucking back judge, and then went and bought her next year. Same thing, Bruno Fernandes, faffed around last season, faffed around beginning of this season, bought him in the end. Maguire, same thing. What's the other one? Why Matter with Chelsea? Same thing. Wan Bissaka? Same thing. So if we're going to be doing all this nonsense only to go and give Dortmund exactly what they want, which I believe what we're going to do, that's annoying. But the streets are talking that the Sancho camp and United aren't happy because they feel like Dortmund are being unreasonable. So maybe we see maybe a bit more pressure from Sancho. Sancho just say, listen, fuck you, look, bruv. I'm going to Mykonos to link up with the man them and start.
So what does more pressure from Sancho actually do? So
Go to Mykonos.
Yeah, but what happens? He eventually has to come back, no?
Bro, do you think Dembele and Aubameyang say, listen, bro, we ain't playing?
Sancho doesn't seem like he's got that in him.
Bro, boy.
Nah.
You want to move?
I don't
You all know him now, do ya?
No.
But bro, this is remember this is like work, bruv. Like you don't want to be held against your will. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but it's not in the worst of situations, is it?
Yeah,
he's about to top 300 bags.
That's living in Dortmund, bro. In COVID, so it's not like he could move about, bro. Man's in Dortmund in COVID.
His line is done.
He's made his money. He's sold it on. Like he's ready to come back home. I hear you. Yeah, we'll see. Is there anyone here who doesn't think we're going to get him now?
I mean, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. This does feel like more like Hazard than Bruno. Like that, you could just see him. I just can't imagine how you can't get pissed off at Ed Woodward. Like, even as a player waiting for him to sign you, Sancho must be like, well, I want to come. Just fucking do the deal. It's Woodward who brings it. I know Dissy was saying, like, they're violating, but he brings it on himself by 3 years ago or whatever when he sat in that stadium on the tour and he's like, we can do things in the transfer market that no one else can do. At the start of COVID, he came out and went, to be honest, we've got really good, like, the match day is very little compared to what we actually earn through corporate shit and deals, advertising and stuff like that. So it's not going to affect us as much as most clubs. That's why he's flashing his money and then wondering why his house gets burgled. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but obviously
got a lamppost in his front garden.
I think
patio furniture.
We're on the stock exchange, aren't we? And obviously, when he says stuff like that, makes strong statements in public, it will affect our stock prices somewhat, won't it, Disu?
Yeah, well, it would. But at the end of the day, I think that's what a lot of the fans have issues with, especially at the die-hard top Reds, is that we're run like a business more than a football club. And it's true, because even if you hear how bureaucratic United are, that they can't work on multiple deals at once. They have to work on one deal when a lot of stuff requires a lot of sign-on. It's moving like working in the public sector, working in the civil service. You have to get bare sign-ons, go away to talk, get the Queen to sign off before you go and buy some pencils to some shit.
Royal order.
Same way, apparently, like, it's not like Woodward has free reign to, like, okay, boom, we're going to swap 120 million euros on Sancho. But let's say they said, okay, we want 85 million euros up front and then the rest on add-ons. Woodward's like, okay, cool. We offered 80 before. Let me go back to the Glazers to make sure this is okay. It just slows down the process. So when you operate like that, operate like a business and not like a football club where you're like, okay, we don't have to always go out and just talk. Because we're not the only publicly listed company, football club in the world. Do you know what I'm saying? We're not the only ones. Like, Dortmund are publicly listed. That's how we'll know how much the transfer was eventually anyway. So, yeah, I'll just wish... And even if we slightly overpay for Sancho, being a good football team has such a strong multiplier effect for your finances. Like, if United are really, really good and winning, the commercial side even goes absolutely crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Looks after itself.
Yeah, and footballers are your money makers. Like, if Sancho comes and does anything close to what he does at Dortmund and improves, and you have that for another 10, 12 years, think about how much money that's added into the value of Manchester United, adding commercially, where it puts even just league place and Champions League runs, how much money that adds. So sometimes when you're thinking about the negotiation of the 10 million euros, just thinking, bro, just pay the fucking money. But Wood was a clown, man.
And everyone knows how much we've just got rid of Sanchez for, like, off the book. So people know we've got that money now as well. So when it comes to negotiating new contracts with any new signings, they're going to know that we've got dough and probably try and rinse us for that as well. It's just a mess, man. He needs to go. Old Woodward.
It had been a tougher earlier part of the day. My thought was like, yeah, we're going to play Copenhagen, score 4-5 goals, couple for Tony, couple for Rash. Greenwood grabs one, then we come on the pod and we turn up. Hasn't quite gone that way. It's very, very difficult to watch at times. Whoever we get in the next game, I reckon we're out, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man.
And it is what it is. I just want to thank you guys for all coming on this late. This has to be the latest recorded pod. Not the saddest, because that was probably the Southampton one. Danny was like, I can't do it, man. I'm gutted. I'm going to.
I was punching all the flies.
With that, I want to thank you all for coming on. Disu, Danny, Michael, Timmy, Alex, and the ghost of Elijah there. Yeah, lads, stay safe. We do it again on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whenever it is, and we'll see you all next week.
It's good to see you guys.
You too, man.
When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.